from Chennai, supporting the Tamililam. Father Gasparaj is a well-known radio commentator on the left-hand side of your screen, a supporter of the Tamililam. And we presume, therefore, also Prabhakaran. Also with us live, one of the fiercest, most fierce anti-LTTE speakers and someone who says he's been on the hit list since 1991 when Rajiv Gandhi was killed. Subramanian Swamy is with us tonight. Cho Ramaswamy is going to be joining us from Chennai. Kanimodi, that's Karunanidhi's daughter and member of parliament, will be joining us tonight. Father Gasparaj, my first question to you. 168 suicide attacks in 20 years. More suicide attacks than the Al-Qaeda. More suicide attacks than the Hamas. One of those suicide attacks killing our Indian Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi. Why should there be any sympathy at all for Prabhakaran?
I'm not here to plead sympathy for LTTE or Prabhakaran. All these suicide attacks, for whatever LTTE is, they have been recorded, they have been called for what they are and what they are not. But in the last 20 years, 1.5 Tamils have been massacred, killed by the Sri Lankan army, the Sri Lankan state. 1 million people have been displaced internally. 1 million people have been displaced externally. And in the last 4 months, 300,000 people. They started their running in 1995, October 25 from Jaffna, went to Valigamam, then came to Tenmarachi, then came to Kilinochi, and all parts of Vanni. And they were herded into one location called Pudukudirupu and its surrounding. They were aerially bombarded. White phosphorus shells were used.
What is the
multi-barrel rocket launching?
Father Gasparaj.
Yeah, I mean,
Father Gasparaj, let me take you back. Father
yes.
Gasparaj, since you're quoting the present, yes. The present is also rooted in the past.
Yes.
Let me take you back to May 14th, in fact, 1985, the Arunadapura massacre. LTTE gunmen shooting 146 Sinhalese civilians, including children, injuring 85 while they were praying in a Buddhist shrine in Anuradhapura. 146 killed, including children. You know, so this is
yeah, I mean, who on earth can condone it? Do you think that there are human beings here to accept and legitimize those killings by LTTE? No, no way. We are only saying that the genocidal project of Rajapaksa regime and the Sri Lankan state, that has not been highlighted and recorded by the media and the civilized world. That's our problem. You don't understand that. We are certainly condemning whatever LTT has done.
Okay.
But you media, the civilized world, it has not taken the Sri Lankan state and finally the genocide, the mass murderers.
Father Gasparaj, straight question to you. You know, you cannot separate, Prabhakaran from the civilian situation that is happening there. If Prabhakaran has so much support, why 100,000 Tamil civilians wanting to run away from that place? If he has so much local support, why has he been brought down? No, allow me to come, 6 square kilometers of an area. And why should India take a position which eventually will benefit Prabhakaran? That's the fear. That I get your point on the humanitarian issue and there's sympathy for that, but it benefits Prabhakaran.
Yeah. Arnab, I think you are a very intelligent man. An army that has been armed to the teeth by China, by Iran, by India and by whatever countries in the world.
Right.
It's the greatest source of insecurity for Tamils. It has pushed the civilians into one small place. It has denied access to food, medicine and all human needs. And you tell them to be there with the LTT for good and die there. I thought you are an intelligent man. I respected you for being an intelligent man.
Father Gasparaj.
How can you expect the people to be there? Yes.
Father Gasparaj, my job is to play devil's advocate, not just with you, but also with Subramanian Swamy.
Okay.
Mr. Subramanian Swamy, 300,000 Tamilians have been left homeless. They are refugees who are trying to get across, come out of the no-fire zone. Leave Prabhakaran aside. Why are you saying that the Tamil issue should not be a poll issue as far as political parties in Tamil Nadu are concerned?
No, there's no question about it. In fact, I have written a book on the Sri Lankan question. We know the record of the Sinhalese majority for a long time. It's a question of violent and non-violent struggle. Prabhakaran had hijacked the whole thing and hid behind the human rights question of the Tamils. Let me say one more point. That today they may say anything against the Sinhalese, but there was a time when Prabhakaran made a deal with Premadasa, one of the most virulent anti-Indian Sinhalese politician, and fought the IPKF. So there is no question of any ideology in this.
I want to hold you on what you just said. It's a difference between violent and non-violent approach. Are you telling us, Dr. Subramanian Swamy, that what the Sri Lankan army is doing today is non-violent? Are you telling us that the 7,000, 8,000, 9,000 people, 9,000 odd people who have been killed in the last 10 to 12 weeks of this fighting have been killed by the retreating LTTE or by the Sri Lankan army? And why don't you demand a ceasefire and a cessation of this bloodshed by the Sri Lankan army? Unless you agree that let the strategic fight carry on, let blood be shed.
Ceasefire is only to help the LTT regroup. That has been the experience of the last. LTT is a terrorist organization which is anti-Indian. It has trained ULFA, it has trained Naxalites, it has trained PWG, and besides running narcotics in Tamil Nadu. So this is a dangerous terrorist organization which has to be eliminated. The Sri Lankan army has been given a job to finish them. They may have, of course, committed excesses, but we know that the Americans are killing Pakistani civilians every day. And I don't see anybody screaming about that. And in World War II, Churchill completely destroyed Dresden. So in a war, it's very difficult.
Father Gasparaj wants to respond to you. Subramanian Swamy, Father Gasparaj wants to respond to you. Go ahead.
Yeah, if a human being says that, a legitimate government flouting all norms and rules of engagement, international conventions and covenant, if it can go on killing 10,000, 15,000 human beings, I think he must be a right-wing fascist. I am not afraid to call him a fascist.
Well, he must be going by LTT record because no United Nations document so far has said that. This is about one of these LTT propaganda that we keep hearing all the time.
I pity your ignorance, Mr. Swamy. I pity
Tamil
your
Nadu
ignorance.
are financial orphans today, and being a financial orphan, they are naturally upset with the state of affairs.
Yeah, people are intelligent, people know the rules. Don't think that you can go around making proclamations that people don't know laws of engagement. We know laws of engagement. We know what United Nations conventions are. We know what
Produce one document from the United States. You produce one document from the United Nations which says that Sri Lanka is committing genocide, not a single one.
It is not for
in the
you
Security
to
Council,
say
they
whether
did not
it is genocide or not. It's for the
in
people.
the Security Council, you are again distorting. As an LTT propagandist, you are being distorting again. The Security Council only said that the LTT must surrender.
You call me names. You are a paid agent of the government of Sri Lanka. You are one of the very accomplished PR agents of the Rajapaksa.
In your case, you have not denied it.
Yes.
My
dear Subramanian Swamy, let me tell you.
One at a time, gentlemen.
The matter is that you don't have a single document to say this. And you just want everyone to believe your propaganda.
In the Security Council,
in the Security Council, they have said the LTT must surrender.
Killed and 8,942 civilians have been wounded.
They have not identified who.
Is that not enough?
They have not identified who has done it. They have in fact demanded that LTT
Subramanian Swamy and Father Gasparaj.
Well, what kind of a discussion can take place?
Father Gasparaj and Subramanian Swamy, I want to step in.
4.4 million tons of ammunition have been used.
Father Gasparaj and Subramanian Swamy, I want to step in.
Rocket launches against
Father Gasparaj and Subramanian Swamy, I want to step in, and I have a question for you both. I appreciate and respect your coming on the show. You have two different points of view, which is also important to put on the show tonight. But certainly one must say before we preface the questions, that at the end of the day, we are fighting the ballot box. We have an election happening, a ballot box election in India. Yes. We have a bullet box situation that is happening in Sri Lanka. I have one question for both of you gentlemen. My question to you, Father Gasparaj first is this not about...
Yes.
Is this not a territorial fight eventually? Is it not simply about territory? And why is it, how do you explain those pictures of LTT men, putting a gun and holding, I can run that video right now, holding people on a beach who the Sri Lankan army says they want to leave, but the LTT is holding them as a gun because they are wanting to keep the people as a cushion between probably their top leadership. There the pictures are. People are swarmed there like ants out there. In those pictures there, and apparently these are the people who are being held by the gun, by the LTT. My question to you is on that. You may want to take that and explain all the videos the Sri Lankan army is putting out. Father Gasparaj.
Yeah. First of all, I don't know, I have to verify the credibility of that footages. Well, if LTT did it, it's wrong, it's unpardonable, and unacceptable. But it is 100% Sinhalese army.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Arnab, if there is one legitimate reason why the Tamils will need the security of their own state, it is the experience of the last 4 months. That Tamils will tell themselves. You go around the world and ask any Tamil,
Yeah.
Tamils will say that the Sinhalese, the brutal Sinhalese regime, a murderous group of Rajapakses, what they have done to the Tamil community,
okay.
a proud, self-dignified
Subramanian
community,
Swamy.
making them beggars, making them run place to places. Listen, Arnab.
No.
This one experience is going to go down as the historic experience of the Tamil people, why they will need the security of their own state.
Father Gasparaj, I appreciate your point of view, but I want to keep this discussion as balanced as possible. I hope you appreciate that. Hence, I will ask a question now to Subramanian Swamy.
Sure.
Subramanian Swamy, my question to you is, even politicians, most politicians are saying cessation of violence, cessation of violence. You are going around saying, go after the LTE, pulverize them, finish them off. Is that a reasonable position to be taken, Subramanian Swamy, or do you have something personal?
Yes, no, there's nothing personal. When I was a minister, we dismissed the DMK government. I had nothing personal. They were encouraging the LTT. They were passing on state secrets to the LTT. We dismissed the government, and they got cured of it after that. And in fact, after that, the elections took place, and the DMK didn't even get a single seat in the assembly. That is the way the people reacted. So I don't think this is anything got to do with personal. The fact is that with the terrorist organizations, you have to have zero tolerance,
right,
which means you must go after them and eliminate them. Okay. That is the only way that a policy can take place. Not all this ambivalence that takes place, whether we should have a ceasefire or not. Okay. All ceasefires are for the benefit of the LTT, and LTT is part of the problem, not part of the solution. Okay. So if you want a solution to the Sri Lankan Tamil problem, first get rid of the LTT.
Right, okay.
But that ceasefire is what political parties in Tamil Nadu have been speaking of, and I'd like to bring Mr. Cho Ramaswamy into the debate. Mr. Ramaswamy, all that we saw in Tamil Nadu, not just today but over the past 2 weeks, is been straight politics with a straight eye on May 13th, isn't it?
Yes, it is nothing but that one-upmanship from all ends. Everybody is trying to do one better than the other, trying to prove that he is more interested than the other group in the plight of the Sri Lankan Tamils. Jayalalitha all of a sudden said that she is for a separate Elam, a separate state, Tamil state. And Karunanidhi had to do one better. He went on a fast. Jayalalitha earlier had gone on a fast. Everybody is trying to exploit the Sri Lankan situation. But in my opinion, and in the opinion of most journalists, and those who have done opinion polls, this is not the issue on which the people of Tamil Nadu are going to vote. There are a host of other issues. The family rule of Karunanidhi, the way he has been promoting the interests of his family as against that of the state, the price rise, the law and order situation. Right. Yeah. So many other issues are there. People are not going to vote on this.
True. I said that. I said that when Father Gasparaj made his point. I said this is above politics. But I have my last question. Karni Modi is joining us. She's Rajya Sabha MP and Karunanidhi's daughter today. Karunanidhi went on a fast for some time on this issue. And some people have said he's taking a pro-Prabhakaran position. I have just one question for you, Ms. Karni Modi. In the given situation, why should India be doing something which even indirectly benefits Prabhakaran, who had plotted the assassination, in fact carried out the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi?
No, it does not benefit Prabhakaran. We are not talking about Prabhakaran here. Prabhakaran or LTT is not the issue. We have to understand everybody here is concerned about the civilians there. We are talking about the ceasefire is to protect the civilians. It is not to benefit any one person. I mean, there are lakhs and lakhs of people there caught, and we have to be concerned about that. And I think it's just not India. The whole world is concerned about people who are caught in a war zone.
Does your party support strongest possible action against Prabhakaran for the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi? Let me make it more pointed.
See, that is not the issue here at all. I really don't understand why, when we talk about the Sri Lankan Tamil issue, Why should we talk about Prabhakaran or the LTT? It is not that. Our concern is about the people. That is a completely different issue. The assassination and what happened, of course it hurts us. I mean, he was our leader too.
No, but of course.
And but we cannot bring both together.
No, you can't bring both together, but there is a perception that's the problem, that there is a perception. This is a man who killed Rajiv Gandhi and he's been cornered. How much support should he get? To all our
Million people have been displaced externally. And in the last 4 months, 300,000 people. They started their running in 1995, October 25 from Jaffna, went to Valigamam, then came to Tenmarachi, then came to Kilinochi, and all parts of Vanni. And they were herded into one location called Pudukudirupu and its surrounding. They were aerially bombarded. White phosphorus shells were used.
What is the
multi-barrel rocket launching?
Father Gasparaj.
Yeah, I mean,
Father Gasparaj, let me take you back. Father
Yes.
Gasparaj, since you're quoting the present, the present is also rooted in the past.
Yes.
Let me take you back to May 14th in fact, 1985, the Arunadapura massacre, LTT gunmen shooting 146 Sinhalese civilians, including children, injuring 85 while they were praying in a Buddhist shrine in from Chennai, supporting the Tamilism. Father Gasparaj is a well-known radio commentator on the left-hand side of your screen, a supporter of the Tamilism, and we presume therefore also Prabhakaran. Also with us live, one of the fiercest, most fierce anti-LTTE speakers and someone who says he's been on the hit list since 1991 when Rajiv Gandhi was killed. Subramanian Swamy is with us tonight. Cho Ramaswamy is going to be joining us from
Arnab, I'm not here to plead sympathy for LTTE or Prabhakaran. All these suicide attacks, for whatever LTTE is, they have been recorded, they have been called for what they are and what they are not. But in the last 20 years, 1.5 Tamils have been massacred, killed by the Sri Lankan army, the Sri Lankan state. 1 million people have been displaced internally.
Kanni Modi, that's Karunanidhi's daughter and member of parliament, will be joining us tonight. Father Gasparaj, my first question to you. 168 suicide attacks in 20 years. More suicide attacks than the Al-Qaeda, more suicide attacks than the Hamas. One of those suicide attacks killing our Indian Prime Minister, Rajiv Gandhi. Why should there be any sympathy at all for Prabhakaran?